Hi friends, I am here in Copley, Ohio in the workshop of our good friend Thomas Hardy. He's an amazing guitar builder, repair. He builds incredible instruments. He's done a couple major repairs on guitars of mine. This is one of them that he's worked on. Hey Tom, say hello.
Hello everyone.
And this is an old Martin of mine, my main little one, and it's got decades of scum on it and
Jeez, it doesn't want to come off.
atmospheric gunk, and
Look
Tom
at
is
it underneath.
rubbing away like crazy. He did a repair on this a few years ago where there was a split up the side.
Really?
Yeah, don't you remember that?
Oh, right here.
Yeah,
I did a really nice job on that.
he did do a nice job. And anyways, we're going to be talking to Tom here shortly and about his craft, his inspirations, and look at this thing he's working on here. This is a, what is this, Tom?
It's a Baroque guitar, so it's,
Is it broke?
It was Baroque when I got it. I put a new top on it.
Oh, wow.
And it actually had metal frets on it, so I filled all these slots in the fret.
Right?
See, can you see them, Colin? Right,
Yeah.
There's one right there.
Oh,
Because these traditionally have gut frets. These are actually...
so this is based on a 16th century
Yeah,
Stradivarius instrument?
these guitars were from anywhere from 1600 to 1750. For almost 150 years, these were popular.
Wow.
And it's got what they call a stave back. It's like barrel.
What did they call the back?
Stave, S-T-A-V-E. These are like barrel staves, you know. So these are
Oh.
all, look, they're all individually mitered.
I thought maybe it was the Jackson Brown. Oh, won't you stave just a little bit longer? We're goofy. Oh, I am.
Let's try to be serious, Colin.
Okay.
So yeah, new top, and he brought it back because it just had no balls. It just wasn't loud enough. It uses, nylon strings, but still they should be very loud.
What's the deal with the rosette in the middle?
Yeah, that's called a rose, and it's. I mean, this is a really plain one, but they're all carved like this and applied from the back of the top inside.
Mm-hmm.
So I removed it from the old top and reused it. It's a really crappy one. Some of them are really incredibly beautiful and delicate.
So is the top of that made of spruce and you
Yeah,
replaced that?
this is torrified spruce that's on there. And I've got it really thin. I mean, look, I can take my thumbs and just, woo.
Now, that will definitely add to... so explain to people how the soundboard or the top works on an acoustic guitar.
The top is the engine that drives the music, like the bridge, and I'm going to replace this bridge, but of course the strings apply pressure to the bridge, vibrations transfer through the top, and it vibrates and puts sound out through the sound hole.
Okay, because I think a lot of people might not know that, so thanks. So anyways, we're going to be back here in a minute with Thomas, and thanks, Guy. Okay, so here we are in Tom's basement, and this is a really lovely instrument that he actually built. This is his work. We have a beautiful logo. What is that, abalone? Or?
Yeah, that's Powa, green abalone. Yeah, not Powa.
Can we see the back? Holy cow, what's that?
This is walnut, American walnut, back and sides. It's got Honduran mahogany neck with some relief carved in it there.
Look at that lovely design that's in there.
I use hip shot American-made tuners always. I really like them.
And the sides of this guitar,
It's
walnut?
also walnut, yeah.
So, can you tell our friends how you got into building guitars? Because and tell us your background in your regular life.
Well, like many luthiers, I started building model airplanes when I was a kid. And surprisingly, a lot of guys that build guitars did start out that way. But I was a woodworker my whole life. I worked in a factory for many years as a mold and die maker for a sign company, and that's kind of how I got woodworking experience. I've been a cabinet maker and just really
How long have you been building guitars, Tom?
Since '97. I built my first kit. Somebody told me you could buy kits from the Martin factory, which I did. And I built 6 kits, and I sold them all, and I thought, boy, this is going to be easy, but it really isn't.
Yeah, and I can tell you from experience, folks, that Tom is a really fine craftsman. He really takes pride in his work. And what would you say this guitar, what are the influences behind this particular build, Tom?
Well, I mean, there's a guy named John Grevin that I study and read about, and I kind of apply a lot of his theories to guitar building. And it's been, since I started doing that, it's really improved the sound of it. And
Yeah, so take a look at this again, folks. It's so gorgeous. Is the top spruce as well?
it is. It's called torrified spruce. So torrification is,
That's when they dry the wood out, yeah?
they cook it in an oxygen-free oven at 300 degrees for I don't know how long. But anyway, it seems like it's kind of old when you get it. So it's
Yeah.
already got some nice resonance to it. And
Let's see if we can get in there with the label. The light's not so good, but Tom he makes his own labels and
oh yeah.
explains what's going on. Really beautiful instrument. And Tom, is this particular guitar for sale?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I've started building them for me. Like this one, I've got 2 grandsons, so this one's for him, that one's for my other grandson, and
Nice.
I mean, I've got to start building guitars for me. I'm finally good enough to where I can appreciate my.
Well, I can attest to that. But you could build instrument for somebody, correct?
Oh yes, I could.
And how would folks get in touch with you?
They could just give me a call, I guess, on my cell phone, which is 330-212-3831.
Okay. We're going to be back in a minute, and I'm going to show you a restoration that Tom did on my lovely old Stella guitar. Thanks, folks. All right. So this is that lovely Stella 12-string of mine, and what had happened was I had originally brought it to Tom months ago, and he gave it a little tweak and this and that, and it played fine. And then I took it to Hawaii, and where I had it for 4.5 months, and when I shipped it back, the post office kind of damaged it. So I brought it to Tom because he's the man. And Tom, you can take it from there and explain the trail of tears of what happened to this beautiful, glorious thing now.
Well, so the worst problem was it needed a neck reset because the angle, there was no way to get the action low enough to play. I mean, it was just not playable. So normally you just pull this fret out, drill 2 tiny holes right here, because there's a gap in the dovetail that goes into the body. It's actually this one right here. So when I did that and began steaming, but it just really wasn't moving at all after a half hour, then an hour. I mean, it usually takes 10 or 15 minutes to get them loose and pop them out of there. So I had the neck in a vise, steaming it upside down like this, just pouring steam in there and twisting the body like this, just apparently too vigorously. And that is how the fretboard got shattered.
So what happened, folks, the fretboard, which is, this part of the guitar, it just shattered when Tom pulled it out through no fault of his own, because apparently Stella used this glue they called red mystery glue, and it's really tough. So as soon as it loosens through the steam, the minute you take the steamer away, it becomes rock hard again. So Tom finally got it off, and this man is up for a challenge, because I think most people would have said, you know what, this is a wall hanger now. But he was determined. So tell the folks then what you did after that, Tom.
So once I ruined the fretboard, that was made out of mystery wood too. He gave me a book to read about these Stellas, and they had mystery wood for the bridge and the fretboard. I mean, I've been around wood my whole life. I've never seen any wood like this. I don't know where it came from. So a new fretboard went on, new frets, and at that time I was able, because everything was off, I could reset the angle on this neck.
Right.
And then to get this is called the action, and that's where you want it to be nice and smooth and silky.
And it is. It plays like butter. And these are not notoriously known for playing like butter.
It really does.
So then you made a new saddle and bridge.
Yes.
And then a new nut, and restrung it. Did a little adjustment to the tailpiece here.
Yeah, I straightened that and kind of bent it so that it was applying more pressure right here, because this is where the sound is generated, right here.
Yeah, that's the engine of the guitar.
And these things are cool because they are just solid birch. I mean, this thing's 65, 67 years old. It's in better shape than I am. I'm 67 years old. So this thing should be good for another 67.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So once again, ladies and gents, our good friend Thomas Hardy in Copley, Ohio, custom builder, repairman. You can give him a call again at what number, Tom?
330-212-3831.
And if your guitar needs adjustment or a major repair, or you'd like to commission him to build you a fine acoustic guitar, Tom's your man. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.
Lovely Stella H922 that Tom Hardy fixed up and made better than new. Thanks a lot, everyone.